Greetings once again, Professor Van Dorn, Dr. Van Dorn. This is in response to part two of lesson three for week three. Uh, the questions after viewing the video provided response. Question one: what is your overall response to the role propaganda plays in shaping perspective about people of other cultures? Do you see evidence of ethnic focused propaganda today? Of course I do. And it came from the president. Uh, if I may quote, there's some bad hombres coming out of Mexico. Um, there's all sorts of propaganda when we are told that the Mexicans come here to sell drugs or to bring drugs or whatever. Of course, we know that exists, but you can't paint everyone with the same brush. There's bad in every ethnic group. So yes, I see. Uh, uh, what was that term again? Ethnic propaganda. Right. Okay. The next question, I understand we're supposed to skip question two. Question three: what are your reactions to the overall message conveyed by the U.S. government through its explanation of forcing Japanese Americans into interim camps? Oh, wow. You know, I'm 62 years old. I had heard about this, and of course, I studied, Pearl Harbor and what they did to the Japanese people, which, by the way, they could never get away with doing today. Oh, wow, the racial derogatory term that they referred to them as. That was that was frightening. It made the hair stand up on my arm viewing that video, especially the things that I learned that I didn't know, as far as the camps and so on and so forth. And one thing that really struck me, we can't call these children dumb now, and they haven't been dumb for a long time. The one guy says that even at the age of 10 years old, he realized that even though they were telling him that they were in this camp for their own protection, why were the machine guns pointed at them? That was really, it was scary. It was painful to me as a Christian listening. Even the part about the power that the president had, and I'm so glad that they stood up to it. And one of the reasons was because they could basically turn the president into a loose cannon in the future. Well, where are we now? Aren't we glad that that was overturned and it was fought? Because if it wasn't, there's no telling where we would be. Let me move along. This was not meant to be a political video. Question four. What are your reactions to hearing about about the same historical event, the Japanese internment camp experience, from the perspective of George Tyke? Oh, wow. That was appalling. I've heard it's been said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. I applauded this guy's parents. These questions were loaded. Would you take up arms to defend the United States? Okay, that I say that's a fair enough question, even though he made a valid point when he says a 17-year-old girl or 80-year-old woman. But the question about would you pledge allegiance to America or something like that and disavow allegiance to the emperor, all in one question where you can only get one answer, and it was a catch 22. If I say that I will, then that means that at one point I had allegiance to this emperor. If I say I won't, then I'm not trustworthy. I'm not loyal. And my allegiance to the emperor. Now we're talking about people that were born in America. So, reaction, again, painful as a Christian to watch. I've gone over my 5 minutes. I'm actually approaching 6. I've got one more here. Question 5. If you were to engage in some type of ongoing cross-cultural ministry with the Japanese Americans upon their release from the interim camps, what would that ministry be, and what first steps would you take to begin? Great question. Well, for one, the first steps would be to show some compassion and to let them know that that's not the way that all Americans feel, and it's not the way that Christians feel. Although many of the people that put them in camp were probably passing themselves off as Christians and honestly and truly believed in what they did. I think my ministry would be a re-entry program. Some of those people were gone for up to 4 years. I've done prison ministry from going in as well as re-entry, and I believe that that would probably be where my ministry would take place, or the type of ministry that I would have. I hope that I have satisfied this part of the lesson. And as always, God bless you. The best is yet to come.